Good morning, guys. So today's lesson is going to go over the homework that I posted last time. Remember last time I posted a video that teach you how to simplify the radical. And also, if you want to simplify the radical, that means you have to apply the exponential properties. So we have 6 or 7 properties, right? So I'm not sure how many, but at least 6. So now we need to apply all these properties to simplify the radical shown on the board right now. So the first question is 64 times m to the 4th power and m to the 3 over 2 power. So how we can solve this one? First, you have to use the product, right? Or like a multiplication property. So now you can separate to 64 to the 3 over 2 times m4 and then 3 over 2. Okay? So now 64, I'm not sure how to use 64 3 over 2, but the easy way is you can change 64 to 8, correct? A squared is 64. And then you can change 64 to a squared and then 3 over 2. It's the same thing, but you just change the form. And now you need to apply the property. So the property means a, the second part, that means you have 2 times, right? 2 times 3 over 2 here. And then times m is the base. And the exponent is 4 times 3 over 2. Now it's easier to solve in this way. So now if a is to the 2 times 3 over 2, you can cancel out the 2. Correct? So that means you can change to a to the 3rd power times, okay, you can simplify the exponent here. So cancel out the 2, then you still have 2 here. So I mean m is 2 times 3 is 6. So now what is a cube? I'm not sure a cube, maybe a squared, I said 64 and then times 8. So I don't have a calculator here, so I can use my hand to calculate. 32. Okay, that means is 512 times m to the 6. Okay, that's the first question, that how you can solve this kind of question. You have to use the multiply property. Separate to 64 times to the power 3 over 2 and then m to 4 times 3 over 2. The key is also you can use the calculator to find out 64 to the power 3 over 2. But the easy way is change the 64 to a squared, because you can cancel out the 2 after you change a squared. Because 2 times 3 over 2 is just 3. And then just simplify. Finally, you have this answer, okay? That's the first one. Okay, second one is almost as similar as the first one. That means use the multiply properties. So now you can equal 9. You can 9, right? To the power is 0.5, right? And then times r is the power is 4 times 0.5 here. So also the same thing. The 9 you can change to 3 squared, correct? And then 3 squared times to power 0.5 and then times r to the 4 times 0.5. So right now it's easier to find out what is the solution. So 2 times 0.5 is 1. That means 3 to the exponent is 1 times r, and 4 times 0.5 is 2. So then it is 3r squared. Okay, good. So now that is the second question. So now, okay. Alright, now she is my daughter, Hannah. Say hi. Okay, she's brushing her teeth. So good. Oh. Alright. So number 3. Number 3. So now you have a fraction here. That means you have to use the quotient properties. What is a quotient property? So quotient property you have to remember that is the first step you can change to like 2. Okay, so quotient property actually can change like this way. First, you can cancel out the 2 because this 2, this 4, that means the bottom is 2, right? That means you can rewrite to this one of 1 over 2 time, because they have the same base x. If this is division, that means it's minus, right? So the exponent is negative 7 over 4 minus, because the bottom is positive, that means minus 4 over 3 here. So now the exponent is changed to negative 7 4 minus 4 3. Then you have to find out the common denominator. So 4 and 3, then the common denominator is 12. That means you have to change to this is times 3, this times 3. So this one is time to change to 7 times 3, what, 21 over 12. Minus this have the times 3 times 4 times 4, that means it's minus 16 over 12. So finally you have 1 over 2. We call this efficient, coefficient, times x. The exponent is negative, right? Is the bottom is 12. So 21 minus 16, that means total is 37. Okay? So now that is the answer. This already simplified. That's you cannot do anything else. Okay, that's number 3. So number 4, this one is easy. Yeah, that's the easiest one, I think, because you just use the multiply properties. So you can change to a to the 1/2 times 3 over 2. Okay, that means it's a to the 3 over 4. Okay, that is the answer for number 4. I believe this one is the easiest one. So also the same thing. So this is like a multiplication. This is a this division, that means is subtraction. So the property is you can cancel the 2 first. Divide by 2, that means this 1. Divide by 2, that means 2, right? So you can write to 2 times. That's you can apply the properties. So that means x to the 2 minus, because this is division, that means is minus. Minus exponent is 1/2. So finally you have 2 times x. 2 minus 1/2, that means is this is 4 over 2, right? Common denominator. 4 over 2 minus 1 over 2, that means it's 3 over 2. So if you want to use decimal, it's fine. It's fine for me. So you have to mean you have 1.5, because 1/2 is 0.5, and also you can, if you write 1.5 as the exponent, it's fine for me. Okay. Also, this is the final answer for number 5. So now, this 1, 2, 3, 5 is all about the exponent properties. So now, this is about the radical. Okay, 7, 6, 7, 8. There are 3 questions. It's all about last video that I posted. So how we can find out this answer? First, if this is cubic root, and also you can change the form to a fraction exponent, correct? How to change to a fraction exponent? The base is the same. You can write down the base in the parentheses, x to the 4 times y to the 8 times z to the 12. And then what is exponent? Okay, so now because this is cubic root, that means the exponent is 1/3. Okay, so if this is square root, what's that? That means 1 over 2, correct? And also, for example, if I change this out, this is 0.5, and also it's 1/2, then also you can rewrite this to square root 9 times r to the 4. The same thing here. Okay? And also if I want to use this as example. How about a 3 over 2, x to the 3 over 2? How we can write to a radical form? So if you want to use a radical form, it's x times square root, but because this one half, right? That means this square root. And also if you want to change inside x cubed, right? Because the numerator is inside the square root. And also you can simplify one more step after we talk about this. So now, and if you want to keep it like this way, it's fine for me. But if you know how to change to a radical form, and then because you know x cubed, you can change to 2 times x squared times x. That means is x squared can take out from the square root. So that means 2x times square root x. Now also this one is a final answer. If you write down this way, it's fine for me, because on math also you can use the fraction exponent as a final answer. It's good. And if you want to do one more step and do it deeper, you can take out the x from the square root, and then you can rewrite to 2x times square root x. Same thing. So now we back to the number 6. If you know this is a cubic root form, if you have to simplify, then you have to rewrite to a fraction exponent form. So now after you rewrite the fraction, that means you can apply the property. So now you can rewrite to x to the 4 times 1/3 here, right? And then times y is 8 times 1/3 here. And then times z 12 times 1/3. That means like a distribution, 4 times 1/3, 8 times 1/3, 12 times 1/3. And then finally you have an answer for x. The exponent is 4 over 3, okay? Times is y, that means is 8 over 3. And times 12 times 1/3 is 4, so times z to the 4, okay? And if you want to go deeper, it's fine, because you know this is, you can rewrite to x. You can rewrite to x. That means 4 over 3, that means x times x to the 1/3. Because this is 1, right? Add together is 4 over 3, correct? And then you know this y is times y squared, right? Times y, because its square is 6 over 3. And also you have 2 over 3 this way. You can separate to like this way, and times z4. So finally you can write x times y squared times z4 times, if you still have square root, cubic root here, that means x times y squared inside. Okay, so I want to say is, if you want to go deeper like this way, it's good. Or you just leave it like this. Also is good for me, so don't worry about it. You just keep change to a fraction form and apply the property. You get an answer like in the fraction form is good enough, like this one. If you want to do it more, like finally, actually this is the final simplification form, but if you just do it this way, I'm okay for it. If you want to go deeper, like do it like the answer like this, also it's good, it's better, but for this one it's good enough. So now how about number 7? The same thing, right? Number 7 you can rewrite to a fraction form to 64 in the parentheses, 64 times x 12 times y 15 times z 21 to the 1/3. And then you can rewrite to 64 to the 1/3 times x 12 to times 1/3, y 15 times 1/3, and then times z 21 times 1/3. So finally you have you can rewrite to cubic root 64, fine. Or you can use the calculator to find out decimal is good. It doesn't matter. So now you can simplify here. 12 times 1/3 is 4, right? Times y. 15 times 1/3 is 5. Times 21 times 1/3 is 7. Okay. Also, you can do it like this one because 4. What is cubic root 64 is 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. That means cubic root 64 is 4. You can use the calculator to find out. And also you know a 4 cube is 64. That means cubic root 64 is 4. Then final answer is 4 times x4 times y5 times z7. So that is the final answer for number 7. Okay, last question. So I want to erase a little bit. So now number 8. So now you can see the 2 is outside, so actually is the square root. So now inside you can use the quotient properties to simplify inside the square root, and then you do the outside. So this one you can rewrite here. Square root, you can ignore the 2, even though I write down the 2 here. So now you can simplify. Divide by 4 first. So 4 and then this 8, right? So that means it's 8 times x to the 6 minus 2, right? Times y, 4 minus 2. And then times z, 12 minus 4. So now finally you have square root inside, 8 times 6 minus 2, that means it's 4, right? And then times 4 minus 2 is 2. And times z is 12 is 8. And also right now you can rewrite to a fraction like a x4 times y squared times z to a to the 1/2, because square root that means 1/2. Now you can rewrite to a to the 1/2 times x to the 4 times 1/2 times y to the 1/2 times z a to the 1/2. Okay, now I'm not sure it's show. Okay, I don't want to write it this way because my board is not big enough. So now 8 the 1/2 times x 4 times 1/2 times y 2 times 1/2 times z is 8 times 1/2. So that means 8 1/2. So x to the 4 times, that means x squared, right? 4 times 1/2 is 2. So y 2 times 1, that means y. 8 times 1/2, that means 4, okay? And also you can rewrite 8 to 1/2 square root 8. And also 8 you can rewrite to 2 to the cube is 8 times 1/2. So that means also you can rewrite square root 8 is good enough. And then x squared times y times z, okay? So also this is the final answer. It doesn't matter. Also, if you want to simplify square root 8, also you can rewrite to 2 radical 2 is radical 8 times x squared times y times z, okay? That is the final answer for the number 8. Okay, good. So now today's lesson is done. So today I just want to go over all this question. So now tomorrow, today's homework I will post later. The homework is again I will post like an 8 question about how to simplify the radical. But this time I just focus on the radical form. Okay, because this you see this only 3 questions, but today's homework about 8 questions. Okay, good. I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you.